Alright, so I'm back. I'm doing this YouTube video on Karmic Debt number 19.1. So, if you don't know what a Karmic Debt number is, the easiest way to explain it is that think of it like a credit card. So you accumulated all of this debt in one of your lifetimes on a credit card or multiple credit cards, right? And so hypothetically, this debt is any abuse of power, any wrongdoing of authority, any kind of wrongdoings that you did in general, just something that wasn't good, is basically what it is. So you kind of have to make up for it, right? So instead of leaving and being like, oh, like whatever happened, happened, no. You have to face it, and you chose to bring this karmic debt in. So just know that. So a karmic debt number would show up in your life path number, your expression number, your soul urge number, or even your birthday number. And the karmic debt numbers that I'm talking about, it would either be 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, or 19. The one that I'm going to talk about today is the 19.1. So the 19.1, the 19 can be very domineering. They can be very like in your face. If you ever have that manager or leader or anybody in your life that just wants to do things their way or the highway, most likely they have a 19.1 or they have, a 19 in their chart. So a 19 is they want to be that independent person. They want to be doing their success on their own. And the 19.1 is they are that leader, right? They have that leadership skill, especially if it's their expression number. They have that leadership skill, they have that independence, they really want to make it out for themselves to thrive. They want to thrive, right? But then 19 is saying like, hey, in one of your lifetimes, you have to acknowledge that you took advantage of other people. You used your sense of authority to get ahead, and you didn't care what happened. You didn't care who you burned. You didn't care, not like saying like you burned anybody, but like, like stomping on people. You don't care. You didn't care. You didn't care how you made it to the top. You just wanted to do whatever it took to get to the top. That's basically what it's saying. So once you acknowledge this, it's going to be so much easier for you to step into a new way of finding your success. And it's not a doom and gloom. It's basically saying like, hey, you have this to work around in your life, but you can transform it, right? You're not meant to be doomed with this 19.1 energy. You can transform it, and you can actually transition your life into something beautiful once you know that you have this 19.1. So with a 19, 19s can be, it's very interesting. So like when I was in high school, I never wanted to be put in a position where I looked bad, right? Like if I felt like I didn't know the answer, or if I felt like somebody was putting me in a spot where I felt incompetent, I didn't understand something, I got very flustered and frustrated, and it just was something that really affected me. It was definitely something I had to work around, and also with that 19, they don't want to ask for help. I would be like, in my career, I worked in retail and I was a manager, and I had this tendency to not want to ask for help. I'm like in my head, if I truly am this leader, if I truly have this capability, I shouldn't have to ask for help, right? Like I never wanted to ask for help. And there were some managers that were like super nice to me, and they would always say like, why didn't you ask for my help? And I'm like thinking in my head, like, I didn't want to ask for your help because I wanted to make it seem like I knew what I was doing, but that can actually be very harmful because part of your process is to learn and do those trial and error and like learn from your mistakes, right? Like I had a manager and I love her to death, and I remember the first thing that she told me is no question is a stupid question. And like as I was going further in my career, I learned that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask questions, you know, um, it's okay. And that 19-1, it's being that leader, but helping other people. So when they thrive, you thrive. So it's not all about you. I know like 19-1s, they might feel like it's all about them, right? The one is all about self. The one is all about being the individual, being the pioneer, being independent. Like that's what you thrive in. So your expression and your talents, it could be you're extremely innovative, you're creative. People might think that you are out of the box, like you have this out of the box thinking. And something that can be very harmful is if people don't appreciate that, you might question your gifts and talents, like, oh, maybe this isn't a good idea, or maybe like this isn't as great as it seemed, even though you can be very dreamy. You start to question, you start to think like maybe they're right, and you shut down these gifts and talents, which isn't good because this is something that you have to offer. This is something that you should be proud of, right? And you just have to understand that some people just don't see eye to eye. Like, you most likely will be very gung-ho about something, and it's okay, because even though people don't have the same idea of something that you have in mind, it doesn't mean it's bad. That's just something that I feel like needs to be emphasized, you know. And going back to that whole like leadership, right? Is I was put in some positions where I felt torn. Like I'm like, well, I have to be this authoritarian person, and I have to be like very stern. I have to do all of this, right, in order for people to understand that I mean business. But also, like, I have that 33-6 energy, which is all about, helping people and being compassionate. So it's like that constant pull. And, it's like, okay, I need to be this leader, but I can't be very, like, stern. I can't be like, it's my way or the highway. Like, I also have to be very considerate and compassionate, because people work for people. And I think this is very important for any 19-1 to understand. This is when you feel like you have to be super assertive and no one's going to listen to you unless you are very strict, that's not going to get you anywhere. You have to find that balance. And throughout the years, I'm so grateful that before I left my company, I was able to find that balance. Like, I never wanted to be that person, because I saw that side. I saw that 19-1 energy, how bad it could be. And I've had people in my life, like my mom has a 19, her birthday is November 19th, and I've had people in my work that have their birthday on the 19th. I've met friends that have that 19-1. I've been around other people that have their birthday on the 19th. And I've seen that other side. I've seen it. It's very dark, and I don't want to go there. So, there is hope. That's basically what I want to say from this video, is there is definitely hope. You know, if you have these people that are showing these traits that you don't want in yourself, they might be a reflection, because people that come into our life, they are here for a reason. They're here to teach us a lesson, whether they're here to be in our life forever, or if they're here for a short period of time, they're here to teach us a lesson, right? Like, if I didn't meet some people in my life, I wouldn't have been given the opportunity to develop my leadership skills. I didn't know I had that within me. I never was presented that opportunity. But certain people in my life, like, they presented me that opportunity, that I did have these leadership skills within. I just needed somebody to see that, and so I just want to say, if you have that 19-1, or if you know somebody that has that 19-1, it's okay. And maybe if you do have that, you will share your experience. I hope this really helped you and gave you kind of some insight onto what you can do or what you can avoid. Just anything that was helpful. I will definitely be back with another video, but I hope you enjoyed this. Okay.